Hi, Renee.
Awesome. Hi there, Elena. How are you doing?
Yeah, great, great. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, let's speak about your situation, your story, and how did you overcome fears from leaving corporate job and starting your own business? And this is, I
Yeah,
think, something that you would like to speak on our podcast.
absolutely. Yes. And thank you for, giving me this opportunity. And thank you for, inviting me. So, yeah, when I left my corporate job 6+ years ago, actually it was in February 2018. I was always in, corporate work, being an employee. I actually always made good money, like really good money. But I was not fulfilled at all. Like it was like living for the weekends. It was living, going on vacation. And my soulmate Katja and I, we have traveled. See, we are from Germany, and we traveled to Florida a lot of times for vacations for the past, I think, 15 years. And
Mm.
each time, that we had to leave from Florida, I was like, we got to find something that this is our daily life, right? Something that we don't need vacation from. And but I didn't find a way how to do that. And it was not about the money. It was about freedom of time and location and doing something that really fulfills me. So I went back after holidays. We went and we sat down. It was in February 2018, and we at night, right after coming home from the office, being like, oh my gosh, overwhelmed and everything. And we switched on Netflix. And we were about to watch some comedy to unwind, some Modern Family, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And there was this advertisement on Netflix from Tony Robbins, I'm Not Your Guru. And I had no idea who he was. I just knew his name, but nothing else. We
Mhm.
watched that documentary that night, went to bed. Literally, the next day, I went to my boss and quit my job because I was like, oh my gosh, I just had this epiphany. Because even though I'm really, really good at this stuff that I'm doing in corporate world that pays
Mhm.
me a lot of money, it's not fulfilling me. It's not giving me purpose or a sense of meaning. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I got to find a way how to find something that fulfills me, which is coaching, and helping other people with something that I know. And that all made sense. And when everything aligns and everything becomes congruent, ever since I was never looking back. There have been hard times and struggling times, especially when you quit your job and you don't know yet where the next paycheck is going to be from. But it all felt so much more natural. And by now, I make more money than ever before in my life, but without the fuss of feeling like, oh, I got to back to commute and dress code and having a boss and doing things that I don't want to do at times and all these things. So yeah, that's what I've been doing the past 6 years. And it's a fun thing because I know that you are all about mindset as well. And no matter what challenges I faced, and I faced a lot of challenges, especially one time, like a year after I quit my job, I was close to going back because I had no cash flow. Um, but I remembered why I actually started the entire thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, even one day at the office was worse than the biggest challenge I face right now, because now I know why I'm doing it and it fulfills me with joy and gratitude and meaning. So I overcame each time I hit like, that tough time and, kind of like feeling frustrated. I was like, my gosh, you don't have to do that. Why are you doing that? I was like, oh yeah, following my dreams, and then the positive energy comes back.
Yes, exactly. This is so important to have the definiteness of purpose.
Yeah,
Because when you really know exactly what you want and see it as already there waiting for you, this gives you that energy. When you
yeah,
focus every day, when you read your goal every day, you see, I can do it. This is my steps today. I am there. And this is what fuels you, right? Like give you that energy continue. Because as you said, it is not easy to first to quit what you already have and where you have some certainty. Yes, when people shift from being employed employee, yes, and starting the new business. It is such a big shift because you have to step totally into unknown, and there is no certainty, and you have to believe in yourself that you can do it, and also you have faith that if you do and when you do right things, the outcome which you are looking for will be there for you. Yes, that you have to
Exactly.
have that faith. Yes, have faith and believe in yourself, and just be committed, as you said,
Exactly.
that you have to know that there will be failures, there will be ups and downs, but you just committed to do it whatever it takes. And this
Yeah,
is what
exactly.
gives you that power to be really your own boss and be
Yeah,
kept
absolutely.
of your sheep.
Yeah, so true. So true. And I remember, really, I have to agree with you. It's when you know why you want something and you have that very crystal clear plan and the clarity why you're doing it and what you want to achieve. You know, the middle in between, the way, the how, it will always, there's going to be ways, there are going to be coaches, there are going to be courses. You get help, you need to learn, ask for help. But as long as you know where you want to go, and you always push forward and you have that fuel, it really makes a big difference. Like so many of my clients and people along the way that I have met think 90% of their time they think about, oh, how should I do that? And obviously, because nobody is an expert for the unknown, they struggle, they are overwhelmed, and it fills them with frustration and procrastination, and their joy is gone. Right. In the beginning, everybody's like, I want to do that. And then it's like, how should I do it? And the joy decreases tremendously. And then, even when a situation comes around where a potential client knocks at the door, they cannot convert them because they lost their joy. There's no playfulness around, and they feel like driven, like a robot. And because they're so full of negativity and thinking and doubts, and so that's what always helped me a lot. Always keeping in mind, we are driving, we are in the driver's seat for our car, and it's supposed to be fun and joy. And the moment you start losing fun and joy, and it's like you have a serious face all the time, you cannot sleep, it will not work out. So whenever you decide on committing to your business, as a coach, in my case, it should be joyful. The moment where you move away from joy, you should really rethink your situation and make sure that everything else is aligned again, so you can, follow your passion.
Yes, exactly, exactly. What you said is so right, because people really do it wrong. They do it totally opposite way as it should work. Yes, like there are certain laws, and when we understand that these laws which govern universe also are important to for us to live according them. So, for example, the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of assumption are so important because, as you said, if you are not aligned energetically with your goal, you will not get there.
Yeah,
Like people who you meet, they will feel that you are not aligned with the goal, with what you do, because you don't believe in yourself. And if you are chasing things, this is how you will not never get them, and you will just be overwhelmed and burned out, and there will be no results because what you chase will run out of you, and
yeah,
vice versa. What you desire, the goal which you desire and which you aligned with, it also is searching for you. What is you searching is searching for you, but you have to align energetically with that. And you have to assume already that it is there and be ready. Yes, when you
yeah,
assume that you already that person, you start thinking, feeling, and acting as you already there, as it is already yours. And
exactly.
how you become energetic magnet to things which are necessary to come to your life in order to fulfill all this, yes, achieve this, manifest these ideas in your life.
Yeah, that's so true. And that reminds me of a story. I had a client a couple of days ago, and weeks ago, that I was working with. and she really was an expert in her field. She was a nutrition coach, actually. So she really knew her stuff like very well. And but in business, she was always like attracting, oh, this is not working because of that, and that will not work because of that. And if I will try this, Renee, it might not work because like she was finding excuses even before the things happened. Now, because I really like to be close to my clients, even though I'm working globally, I try to have as much, personal connection as possible. Especially during COVID, that was helpful because everybody was in a lockdown and people lost their jobs, and so they wanted to monetize their knowledge, and that's where I came to play. So it happened that I knew this lady before she became my client online, and I was like, help me out. When you're in business, you have this doubtful mindset and you find excuses for the future why it should not work. You are tracking that, right? You notice that. But when I read your Facebook stuff about your personal life, you know all of this. And you're living by the rules of the law of attraction and everything. How come there's such a difference between your personal life and your business life? And she was like, you know what, Renee? That is so true. I learned from my first coach that business is totally different. I was like, maybe you should rethink that because ideally it's one, right?
Mhm.
And the moment you start saying goodbye to this doubtfulness and embracing it, and really thinking about like, you be charismatic if you're full of certainty that you're a good nutrition coach and the right people will come your way. And shortly after, she actually signed her first client because she changed her energy so positively that people were like, oh, she's a nice lady in business as well, because they knew her from her social media community. But each time she pitches an offer, she has this, she like a different character, right? And people were like very like, oh, I don't want to work with her. And the moment she switched that, it was nothing tactical, nothing tools, nothing bit. It was like all in her brain, in her mind, in her heart. And that changed everything for her and was so nice to see that.
Exactly, exactly. Sometimes it is just a little bit shift that
Yeah,
can change outcome.
yeah,
Yeah, and when people understand that their reality is just simulation, it is just a mirror of what is going inside. And their mind is a workshop. The imagination is not just something that just like uh, given for them for nothing. Yes, like it
yeah,
is really a workshop where everyone can create their reality. And also, there is a good saying, inspect what you expect.
yeah. So true.
What you expect, because what you expect, this is what you get. And it doesn't
Yeah,
matter what you say. You can say so good thing, but if you don't believe that it is yours, that it is something that you can do, your subconscious will sabotage you and you will not get there. And more than that, people will feel it. They will not listen what you say. They will feel exactly
yeah,
what you feel. They will feel exactly those thoughts, that inner conversation which you have about with yourself, that they
exactly.
will feel exactly. They will not
Yeah,
even listen to words, and vice versa. If you're so like, I think everyone, they had that experience when we met somebody who was so excited, so inspired, and we got attracted, even not by what they were telling. Maybe we even forgot what they were telling, but we got attracted by that energy, but that confidence, but that vision that people have. And this is what said, oh, this is right person, I want to know this person more. Yes, and this is what we remember. Yeah, we may not remember even what people say, but we really remember that impression, yeah, that
yeah,
impression, energetic impression which we felt by meeting that person.
yeah, exactly. That is so true. And the fun thing is when you have an online business and you think like, oh, there's always like a camera in between, or you just post something, right? And you're like, that's not how feelings are being conveyed. Yes, actually they are, because what you said, right? It matters what what starts inside yourself. So do I go on a podcast saying this is not going to work, or I'm not good at that, or I don't know what to talk about, or will you take it as an opportunity, as a gift, right? And so many of my coaching clients, they know what they do, but they hate sales and marketing. Because it's like, oh, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to pitch my stuff. And I was like, you know what? If you go live or post something or whatever you do, or you go at an event and you come on stage with the mindset of, I don't want to pitch. Believe me, nobody will buy from you, right? You can spare your time, you can go home and do something better. But if you have the idea of replacing pitching and selling with adding value and helping someone, which usually most people love doing, right? Nobody will ever feel like, no, I don't want to tell my mom that I have a good, solution for her. Everybody will do, sure. Everyone wants to help their mom, their dad, their beloved ones. And it's about, once again, right, breaking down that barrier between business and personal life. If we really focus, and that all starts in our head. The moment we understand that everything starts inside, and there's not really like two worlds, but it's all one, then things become much easier and more playful and joyful. And usually that results in, whatever results you're after.
Yes, it is so true. It is so true. The attitude is the key
Yeah.
word. Yes, whatever
Yeah.
we do, our attitude determines the results.
Yeah.
And if we have the attitude that we can help these people, and we only can really help people to transform their life when we work with them, and only when we work with them, this is when they can become our clients. So this is the only way how people can commit for themselves, right? Because we know that the free things worth every penny. Yeah, because people don't value things for free, but when they really look for solution, if they really understand what's stopping them from their success, yeah, what holds them back, and they want to find solution and solve their problems, this is how they are looking for right person to invest in themselves, and
So
then
true.
only they really take actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
So
is
true.
when we can really help them. So this is so important to have the right attitude to sales, because sales is really the way how to help people to transform their lives. And we know that what we know has so much value, and it didn't came from one book. It is not that uh,
Exactly.
we read one book and came and now speaking that we want to change the world and have people to transform. Most of experts which I met who came on our podcast are such great examples of living by implementing these rules, these principles which we just spoke about, and everyone became expert by putting so much effort, so much time to get that expertise and to go through so many different challenges in their life. So when people find such a mentor and start working with them, it can save so many years, yes, so many years, and all the every minute, every second is so precious because we don't have another life, and we don't even have agreement to live 1,000 years or two
Yeah,
thousand
exactly.
years. It is just like I heard one statistic that if we are lucky to live 80 years, we only have 4,000 weeks.
Yeah.
1,000 weeks. And we know how we go. Every week just goes like a page of calendar, yes, like page of book. So fast. So 4,000 weeks is nothing. And that is also if we live 80 years. But we know like 70, 80 years, of course,
Exactly.
you will not do what you can do at your 30, 40, 50. Right? So
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
like and also when we are small, like 10 years or 15 years, also we don't count. So these 4,000 weeks we can just divide by two. That will let's say we have only like 2,000 weeks really, like when we are active with this good health and having all these big dreams. And that's why every moment is precious, and why we have to pay our years time which can never be gained back. Yes, money we can always make, but we can never
Exactly.
get time. Time is the
Exactly.
asset which we have.
Exactly. And that is so true. I remember um, the moment when in the morning when I told Katya I would like to quit my job if she's okay with it, right? Because we are a couple and it should be like a mutual kind of like agreement because I will
Mhm.
not make money for the first couple of weeks and months back then. And she was like, Renee, like what is really driving you? And is it like traveling? Is it vacation? Is it money? And I was like, no, it's something different. It's when tonight I woke up and I was like, if I wake up in 10 years from now looking back, what do I want to look back on? Because time is so precious. And during pandemic, we lost Katya's mom to cancer. I lost my grandmother. So a lot of beloved people passed away, right? And I was so um, confirmed in my determination and decision to quit my job to do something that's meaningful to me because just like you said, every day counts and time never comes back, right? And if you are anywhere between 20 and 50 or maybe even 60, that's like the best time on the planet. So you can start today, but it is the only thing that's your duty is you need to make that decision, today and not tomorrow because it's like try it out, fail yourself forward, see how it goes, adapt. I remember a guy that I worked together with. He built my first funnel. He was a great guy from from America, and he was like, Renee, you know what people are really successful? I was like, tell me. And he was like, champions adjust, right? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, people who adjust to whatever happens in their life, right? Rain or shine, or lose a job, get a job, lose someone, win $1 million, whatever it is. If you stay flexible and you adjust without being frustrated, without burning out, you can achieve anything over time. And that really stuck with me because it was such a simple and beautiful saying, champions adjust. I know it's an old saying and everybody says it, but the moment it becomes, the moment it manifests in your own life, it becomes so powerful.
Yes, it is so true because again, you cannot chase things. You
Yeah,
have to learn how to be whole and complete with have nothing. When you have nothing and you are grateful and happy, you whole and complete with having nothing, then you can become successful. This is the
that's
key.
beautiful.
Yes, this is the key. When you understand that everything is already in you, your
Yeah,
happiness doesn't depend on outside factors. You
yeah,
create your happiness, wholeness, and completeness inside of you, and this is how you have this lucky person syndrome when you just
yeah.
lucky with yourself, when you don't even think that somebody will make you lucky or something will make you lucky. You wake every day, you are grateful for what you have, you expect great things come to your life, and you live with this state of happiness and understanding that there is nothing like luck. You have to be that luck with yourself, and this is how you will start attracting. You will become magnet of everything good because you are at that vibration when you whole and complete, and you become the magnet of everything because you already expect it in your mind. So you are at that high energy of gratitude, of love to yourself, love to other people, and again searching for being the best version of yourself and giving your best to other people, because this is another secret of success. You have to give first. You have to give first unconditionally before you receive.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. There's nothing I can add to that. Totally agree with you. That is so, so true. Both like for all areas of life, right? Personal, business, relationship, health, really everything.
Yes, totally. When you learn how to detach from physical reality and understand that physical reality is just a mirror of your inside world. And you cannot wait mirror to smile to you before you act. Yes,
Yeah,
you
that's
smile
yeah,
and then you see a reflection that's in the mirror, but you cannot just stand in front of mirror and wait in mirror to smile and just shake it and say, smile, mirror, I
yeah,
want to see smile. Yes, you cannot do this. This is a really ridiculous, but this is what most people do. They just think that they have to push hard, they have to do, and they have this uncertainty, yes, like low self-esteem, and they expect world to come and a miracle happen. It will never happen.
yeah,
It should be whole and complete with yourself. You should be grateful for even small things, even if you don't have much today. Yes, even if you're in dark place, you still have eyes, you still have ears, you still can enjoy food. Just think how many people suffering who cannot swallow food or
yeah, exactly.
cannot walk. So it is really state of mind, and whatever financial situation or whatever is, you always can find reasons to be grateful. And this is
Yeah,
the starting point. So when you shift your mind from being miserable, feeling like, oh, like everything just doesn't work or I am not worth. So it is really up to you which thoughts you choose. Nobody can force you to have thoughts. This
yeah,
you
exactly.
choose your thoughts, start thinking about what you really want, start
Yeah,
shifting your mind, start being grateful, find those even little small things which you can catch that to be grateful, and start creating that beautiful state when you are happy even with having nothing, and this is what will make you very successful.
yeah, exactly. Totally agree with that. And I remember, when I think about my clients and their businesses, it's like the unknown, right? Because if there was a blueprint that worked 100% guaranteed, then it's not called entrepreneurship, right? So it's like you have this jungle in front of you, and you are the one who need to pave the road in between, and then people will come, right? Because so many of my clients say, "Oh, Renee, everybody's saying you got to give away for free in the beginning, give value for free, but I need to pay my bills." I was like, I know what you mean, but it's a different approach on looking at it. And then I tell them the story about the jungle and tell them, you know what, you got to pave that way, that people can follow you. If you don't pave the way and you tell people, I believe you can walk through that jungle, they will be like, no way, right? But they need your help. So you have to build that road and pave the way that people can follow you. And then they will see, oh, what you're doing is working. Tell me, how did you do that? I want to do that on my own, in my own jungle, right? To stay in that picture. And that's so true. And with that comes certainty. With that comes a confidence, and with that confidence come it's like a multiplication thing, right? Because out of that everything starts flowing and becoming better. And so yeah, it's really beautiful what we can do with ourselves, just by thinking ourselves into this successful state, of what we desire.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Yes. The
Cool.
again, it is important to understand the laws. Yeah, because when we understand the laws and when we act according, this is how everything will work. Many people know the movie The Secret. Yes, and from that movie they know about the law of attraction. But this is only one law. But there are so many different laws. Like there are the 12, the basic like key laws. And what you just said, there is the law of compensation. When people understand that law of compensation, what it means that you do good, you provide the value, become really person who is difficult to be replaced.
Yeah,
Become so
exactly.
good in that what you do, and you will never need to think about money. Because when
Yeah,
you focus on providing good to help people, to really bring the value, the money will come to you as the law of compensation, and you never even think like where it will come. It will always come because your income is always equivalent to the value you provide.
yeah,
So you
exactly.
don't need to chase money. You just focus on three simple things. first find what is really in demand. What really in demand? What is really like problems that people have and you can solve? Yes, if we speak about coaches, mentors, yes,
So
consultants,
true.
find that problem, yes, what you really can solve. The second one, be good in what you do. Be really good. And the third one, become the person who is very difficult to replace. So the money, that income will just come to you effortlessly. And this is what is called effortlessly.
Yeah. So true. Totally agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, some people don't understand what means effortlessly. Like I did event and put on a LinkedIn event, like how to create success, how to become successful in an easy and effortless way. And I remember one person wrote on LinkedIn, "Oh, if it is effortlessly, it doesn't worth my attention." And it was
Okay.
so funny, like I said, wow, like, do you mean that your belief is that success is such a hard work? And
Yeah.
and if the people believe that success is hard work, it
And
means,
will.
yeah, it will be hard work. And
Exactly.
also, it is very less probability that this person will become successful. Yes, because they don't understand these basic laws. And
Yeah.
everything is governed by the laws.
Yeah. So true. I remember, when people come to me, they're usually in the beginning of their coaching career and entrepreneurship. And they're always like, oh, maybe I should go back to my old job because I was so good. I made lots of money. I was like, you know what? When you started your job, have you been good before? Did you make a lot of money in the beginning? And they were like, oh no. And I was like, see, you got to practice. You got to become better. You got to invest a couple of years to become so valuable for people, that you add value. And, I never used the term irreplaceable or easy to replace, but that's exactly what it is, right? And when you do something for 2, 3, 5, 10 years, every day when you educate yourself, then everything becomes and flows easily and very, what you said, effortlessly, right? But it's like, I remember the saying I read on Instagram the other day: you don't pay me for the 30 minutes that I work with you. You paid me for the past 10 years that I learned to become a master of what I'm doing. I was like, yeah, that's so true.
Exactly, exactly. Yes. It can be even 1 minute. One phrase can change the people's lives.
Yeah. Yeah. One spark of inspiration, one thought. And that's so true. It's a moment of awareness, I guess, where
Yes.
everything can change, right?
Yes. For me, for example, it was one phrase of Joe Dispenza, which I found on YouTube actually. Yes, I found on YouTube, and that phrase was that people don't die from snake bite, they die from the poison which is spread into the body. So this is what for me was really life transforming, and it changed totally trajectory of my thoughts, of my decisions, and partly became the reason why I do what I do now. Yeah, so because sometimes people can live 20 years or 30 years just thinking about what happened, and this is how they allow that poison to kill them. Yes, if they hurt or something happened, yes, like betrayed or something happened in the past that they cannot accept in their mind, and they can just leave and let that poison just to become so heavy, and then they get sick and die. Yes, because
Yeah.
all this un, un unexpressed feelings. Yes, uh, when people impress those or suppress those feelings and those hurt, yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. It stays in your body. But again,
Yeah.
who does this? Okay, that situation already happened, but who does this with yourself now? It is just you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So sometimes doesn't even need 30 minutes. Sometimes it's just like 1 minute. But
Yeah, exactly.
yes, but the person really who have that experience, he can just see really what is the their true problem. And sometimes you cannot know this problem. Yes, you can think other think about business, about how to do things, but the key problem can be even like this in you, that you have something that you didn't work, and this has happened maybe many years ago, maybe even when you were
Yeah,
child. But this
yeah,
sabotages your success because you believed something that was said to you, and just can be reason that you are not successful.
yeah. Totally agree. Yeah, that's so true, Elena. So true. Yeah, I hope a lot of people will see this episode because it's really, when you sit down a moment and think about what your past might have to do, the venom, right? The poison, how you can actually stop that yourself, man, that's a priceless insight.
Yes, we discussed many priceless, priceless ideas here in this conversation, and really I
Indeed.
appreciate for you
Thank
to
you
be
too.
an amazing guest on our
Thank you very
podcast.
much.
Yeah, I
Likewise.
really, yeah, like I really love this experience, and everyone who comes for our podcast, and each episode is really priceless because it is so different. And yeah, and I always encourage people who listen and to listen it many times, because every time you listen, you find something really, really important.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
powerful.
and it's a lot to handle, right? To process. Even if, if we watch stuff, it's so much coming. You really need to go through it again and take notes and push pause, because, like, there are so many things that might be overlooked and overheard. So, yeah, totally agree with you.
Yeah, this is very, very priceless knowledge which we share on our podcast with amazing guests, because this is I believe that if just people listen to our episodes and really stop and think and really apply to their mindset, yes, to the way how they think, how they act, it will really be very helpful, yes, and so transformative, because this is like diamonds, yeah, which we picked through our many years of life experience, also with our business experience, and we put in this short, like 30 or 40 minutes episode, but it is so like full of all these golden nuggets that
So true. So
in
true.
yeah. So is it anything that you would like to share with our listeners before we up this episode?
Well, I made it my mission, because I failed and struggled so hard in the beginning of, taking my knowledge online and reaching people who need my help, that I made it my mission to help as many people as possible. And I know when you start, your budget is very limited, and you don't have a lot of money to put into it, And that's why I recently created a 20-minute a video course. It's a free one, how to use ChatGPT for your coaching business, because I know that, creating content and marketing to advertise your offer, it takes so much time. And even if you get agencies, it costs a lot of money. And I mastered ChatGPT for my own business, which saves time and money. And I put it together in a bite-sized 20-minute video masterclass. It's for free, so the only thing you have to invest is like 20 minutes of your time. So in case you have people in your audience who think about, monetizing their knowledge, um, then, I'd be more than happy to share the link to that video resource. It's free of charge, no strings attached, zero obligations. If they like it, it's cool. If not, they just lost 20 minutes.
Yeah, thank you so much. We will be happy to put this link in the description of this episode so
Cool.
people can just go there
Thank you.
and learn.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Renee.
Thank
It
you,
was
Elena.
really amazing conversation, so powerful and impactful,
Thank you.
educational. And I'm looking forward to see you again in our next episode.
Great. Thank you, Elena. Elena, likewise, and have a great day. Thank you very much. It was an amazing pleasure.